Hi, I'm Roberta Glass, and you're listening to my true crime channel. Today we are talking about the 5 most annoying tactics in true crime discussion. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome. Happy fall. So this is a topic I don't see discussed pretty much anywhere. So I wanted to talk about tactics used in debating true crime. And the first one is misrepresenting yourself. So often people will say, I don't have an opinion, whether they're guilty or innocent. And the reason they say that, and that should be a red flag that they have a very strong opinion. And it's usually a pro-innocence opinion. But the reason that they say that is that they want to seem objective. Like they're weighing both sides of the evidence and they just can't come to the conclusion. So that's number one, misrepresenting yourself. But it connects very closely with number two, misunderstanding what it means to be objective. So often people will say, you're not objective. No kidding, I'm not objective. My time to be objective happened a long time ago when I was examining the evidence. Now I actually have an opinion. And somehow that is looked down upon if you've formed an opinion. And what they really mean is that you formed an opinion that is not the same as theirs. Hi, kitty. So, yes, hello. So that's the sort of value we place on being objective. I actually saw a guy discuss Bill Cosby. And he's like, I'm just looking at this in an objective manner. Really? You've listened to maybe 50 plus victims of Bill Cosby that span decades. The guy's been convicted. This is post-conviction. He's been convicted, and you're just not sure. You're still going to look at it in an objective manner. I mean, I don't know how you can't be swayed by such overwhelming evidence. But okay. So what they're really saying is they're fairer than you, smarter than you, less emotional than you. And, there is a time to be objective, and that's when you're looking at both sides of the evidence. So I don't know why anybody would really want to listen to someone with no opinion on a subject, but okay. So, number 2, use of experts, paid experts that never testified in court, and claiming that's equally valuable. So this is especially true of the West Memphis Three, who paid all sorts of experts to look at the case and form an opinion. Like if you look at John Douglas's opinion on the West Memphis Three, he mistakes the facts of the case. He says that Damian Eccles and Jason Baldwin were never in trouble, which is not true. Baldwin was a petty burglar, shoplifter. Eccles had a scary 500 pages. It's called Exhibit 500. It's 500 pages, a really scary mental health history. So they'll cite those kind of experts that have been paid to have opinions that haven't been cross-examined, and they will claim that they are equally as valuable as experts who may have been paid but took the stand and were cross-examined. And if you don't think cross-examination is important, look at the Todd Kenhammer trial and look at the glass expert and the cross-examination of him. And he was just destroyed in cross-examination. So it's very easy to have an opinion, especially if you're basing it on your own kind of made-up facts. And some of these guys have heavy resumes, so but they can be wrong just like everybody else. Number 3, most annoying tactics wild theories that aren't supported by any evidence at all. Now, this I saw a lot with the Making a Murderer documentary when that came out. And people would have wild theories. The brother did it, blah, blah, blah. It's a whole conspiracy with a whole bunch of law enforcement when there's no evidence so to suggest that. And claiming that that's just as important as a theory that's supported by evidence. So that's kind of like the wild imagination of some true crime enthusiasts, and we're supposed to take that seriously. And this goes along with the wild theories, the specialness theories, that the defendant is so special that he had a whole string of bad luck have to happen to him, and that's actually plausible. Or that cases like JonBenet Ramsey or the McCanns, that generally, I think it's upwards of 90% of children that go missing from the home are actually not abducted by a stranger. But this case is so special that a stranger burst into the basement window and was taken or killed in the basement, or in the McCann's case, taken in a split second and disappeared. When there's no evidence, not only is there no evidence to support that special theory, but it's unlikely to happen. Things that, how do I put this? Statistically are unlikely to happen are more likely to happen. Does that make sense? Statistics matter. So if something, if 9 times out of 10 it's the parents, that's a more viable theory than not when combined with the other evidence. So I often hear that doesn't mean anything. If it happened before, if it never ever happened before in the history of planet Earth, it still could happen in this case. Yes, it could, but it's very, very slight chance. So, and number 6, omitting evidence, dismissing or minimizing. And that kind of goes along with the one before. So, saying that the fact that Damien Echols perjured himself on the stand concerning whether he read Crowley, that's not important. The fact that he committed perjury, and the fact that later he said he was persecuted for his love of Crowley. So we have to think that if he's lying about it, that people don't lie without reason, that it somehow implicates him, that Crowley is important to this case, or else he wouldn't lie about it. And yes, Crowley followers are not necessarily murderers, but if you're lying about it, that should be a red flag. He's saying it's important. And when the police asked him who he thought, this is Damien Echols, who he thought did the crime, he said Satanists. So he was the first one to bring it up. Not anyone else. It wasn't some kind of panic. So I just wanted to bring up those kind of, I guess I could go make an extra credit one, which is straight up insulting you and telling you how stupid you are. And trying to say that it's some defect in your character. Either you're religious, you've been blinded by your religion, I've heard that one, you're too stupid. Often they like to say that I wouldn't like to have you on the jury if I were falsely accused. So they're always asking to put you in the shoes of someone falsely accused. They're never asking you to put you in the mindset of the victim or the victim's family. That doesn't happen. Your empathy can only go on one person, and that's the convicted or the accused. So those are some tactics. I just wanted to do a real quick video on it because I don't hear anyone talking about how we talk about this in this community, in the true crime community. How do we talk about crime amongst ourselves? And it can be some real nasty business. So thank you for listening, and stay tuned and subscribe and like if you want to hear more of this content. Thanks.